Oh, thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And for the invitation to join you here this afternoon and close the formal proceedings, I believe. So it's actually a pleasure to be here. Sadly, I was only able to sneak in towards the end of the sessions, but I started to get a real sense of the collaboration and innovation that's been happening throughout today. So I can see friends and colleagues from Sanger and EBI, and both organisations here have three. Well, Sanger's got 3 pillars of delivery that we share them with EBI. That's research, that's training, and innovation. And colleagues from EBI will know you've got a 4th one, which is services as well, a services mandate. So from both our organisational perspectives, today's been a real sweet spot where we're bringing together the research that we do, training and sharing of best practice, but also innovating about how we do things and improving the way we do things, so we deliver better, more science. And as I was running through the agenda, I was really pleased to see that not just it was Sanger and EBI, because we're strategic partners and we've worked together for 25, 30 years, but also to see names from the University of Cambridge and the wider campus. And I just think that's so important as we build this ecosystem and quite often the Sanger Institute, EBI and the University of Cambridge, we often triangulate on strategic initiatives and funding applications. So it's great to see another example of that, where a partnership working in bioinformatics and computational side of things. Then, as I was sort of enviously looking through the agenda compared to my day, what struck me as well was that the breadth of research that people in this room are covering, from cancer to variant effects, to tree of life, to infectious diseases, polygenic risk scores, single cell RNA-seq. It's a real sort of menu of all things genomics and bioinformatics. And some of these I realize are absolutely impossible challenges that we set ourselves in computation and bioinformatics. And it would be hard to replicate that anywhere else in the world, but here. And so it's really great that we're just here and sharing expertise and coming together to move that science and keep pioneering in all things that we do. And it's not just about the science, actually, it's about the values that we share as organizations and as scientists, and they include team science, they include collaboration, they include open science, and these are the values that we're all trained in, and that the ethos that we work within, and we take those out into the wider community. And we also assess partners by these values as well. Do we want to work with you? Do we want to co-locate you? Because these are central to our core. It's not just the science that we do, but it's how we do it as well. So I know from my briefing that today's been about collaboration, and you're building this community together, and you're sharing expertise and best practice. And we also know it's important that we don't work in isolation. We will partner with the best organizations. We'll adopt technology early to advance our work. And so it's really fitting that we're working closely here today with Nextflow, and co-creating solutions to some of the challenges that you were discussing. And as my Damon pointed out, part of my role involves taking the science out of Sanger through commercializing, through partnerships, or through influencing government. And I'll take a moment to, if you'll bear with me, to talk about government, where we have had successive ministers in health and science, and they talk about the UK's life sciences superpower, and we're world leading in genomics and biodata. And I really try not to use those words, because what they don't bring to life is the expert technical aspect of things, the developers, the teams of bioinformaticians, the computational biologists that are developing the scalable, reproducible sort of bioinformatics pipelines and solutions that actually underpin all of this work, where they just see the very tail end of this. So the message that I try and get across, particularly when the recent one has been about supercharging Cambridge, or because we know that our success here at the, at Sanger and Emble EBI and the wider community, that depends on training and developing people with expert skills in these technologies, so that we can simplify the implementation, we can simplify the uptake and utility of all the great discoveries, but we want it to be reproducible and scalable. And we need to be able to, to have the right infrastructure. We need to be able to take it into the cloud or to different clusters. And something that I try and get across is that it's the skills and the tools that we need to fulfill that mission of open science. And we know as organizations, both Sanger and Emble EBI, we've got our impact reports that show how data resources and our sort of pipelines really underpin the research engines, not just of the UK, but of scientists globally. We know that we generate data, we process data, and we provide those data foundations for the scientific and clinical communities to build on and make further discoveries that expand the reach and impact of our science, reach and impact of our data. And that's actually our superpower. And that's the message that we need to be getting across. So that's I'll get off my soapbox now. But I really do hope you've had a great day. I'm glad we could host this here at the Welcome Genome Campus. It's great to see us coming together and, and understand how you've been building this community of developers and bioinformaticians here on campus. So thank you for joining the session. Thank you for listening to me. And now I believe it's time for drinks and discussions. So enjoy, you deserve it. Thank you very much.